In this video, I'd like to cover value stacking for press release distributions, and I see this all the time. I'll see press release distributions for, $400, $500, $700 that have these huge amounts of links that are generally privately owned, or they'll include podcasts and social medias and RSS feeds and distributions and indexation and all of this stuff that has nothing to do with high authoritative newspaper and publisher websites posting about your brand, your business, and your services. The goal of a press release is to stand next to authoritative sources and say, hey, I am this business. I am this name. I'm the owner. Here's my logo. Here's my embed. Here's my social media. Here's my name. Here's my email. Here's my address. Here's the services I provide. And here's my website. This is who I am, this is what I do, and this is where I do it. And oh, by the way, I'm listing this information on the most authoritative assets I could get my hands on, right? That's the name of the game. Don't be fooled by value stacks, all right? You're looking for high authoritative, trusted websites that you've either heard of or you can validate that it's a newspaper, it's a publisher, it's mass media, it's an actual asset, it's a site that has authority. That's what your press releases are for, right? You're building your authority and you're building your entity database. I'm becoming synonymous with the services I provide in the areas I provide them. I want Google to know who I am, what I do, and where I do it. That's what a PR is for. Start gradual. Another question that I receive a lot that I'd love to give you some clarity on as a small business owner. All PR is geared towards niche. Do not be upsold. Any distribution, press release distribution that's less than $1,500 is pretty much all the same sites. And how it works, because I've used PR Newswire, I've used Globe, I've used Access, I've used Business Wire, I've used PR Web, I've used all the main vendors for main distributions at $1,000 price point or less, actually $1,500 or less, just to try them out. And what I found was the channels or the distributions are the same. What I mean by this is whatever number the company boasts. For instance, I use Global Newswire now. They boast 75,000 digital assets that they're going to distribute to. Maybe it's higher, right? Maybe it's 100,000. So we write the release, we submit to everybody, right? We say, hey, we have this release, will you post this? The companies that post it are going to be the authoritative general websites, the other general websites, the general news outlets, and then it'll be regional outlets and then niche specific outlets, right? Why is that? Because these are real news websites. These are real publishing websites. They're not going to post something that isn't relevant or doesn't make sense or isn't of value to them. Yahoo Finance doesn't post plumber blogs. You with me? Now, you might go on to lifestyle.yahoo.com, right? Or maybe even yahoo.com. All PR is niche specific. So if they're saying, oh, it's going to be niche specific or it's going to be lawyer focused, yes, they might add some private network. But at the end of the day, if you're using a general distribution, you're getting the same links. Don't be upsold. Don't be fooled. All right. How is my Global Newswire distribution less expensive than Global Newswire, the provider, the syndicator that I utilize? And when you're buying hundreds in bulk at a time to then offer to small business owners, blue collar business owners, professionals, I'm in the SEO business. You're a service business or you're a local business or a small business owner. My business is SEO. So, when you get inventory for whichever projects that you have, that's my inventory and I'm able to get it for a lower cost because I'm buying hundreds at a time. On top of that, when you're buying hundreds at a time, they're willing to negotiate. Negotiate on things like, hey, instead of your company writing it, where you're going to charge me 10 cents a word, how about I write it and submit it? Yes, they're going to be scrupulous. They're going to go through it. I'll have to go back and forth. But I'm able to write it for a penny a word instead of 10 cents a word. I have more ways to mold a better deal for you and for me, right? So I'm buying in bulk. Plus, on top of that, I'm cutting unnecessary costs. Like, I don't want to pay an extra $300 to submit to these 200 Google News sites. Why? There's no value there. I want credible, authoritative news outlets in order to offer in a high quality distribution at a fair cost. And that is why if you go to Global Newswire and get the general distribution and look at their sample and then look at mine, they're nearly identical except for 5 or 6 sites. And we're not even talking authoritative sites. How did I do it? I bought in bulk and I took away unnecessary costs that are going to be charged if you just go to them and buy one.